So how do you go about designing the successor to the Chiron? It seems like a kind of big task, right? The aspect of timelessness is key to us. How do you make a car timeless? For it to be timeless, it needs to be authentic. It needs to tell a story. The story of the Tourbillon is the interplay between speed and elegance. One could almost say it is shaped by speed. Now, we draw inspiration from many things. For example, if we observe nature here, the falcon, fastest creature on the planet, if it nosedives for its prey, what does it do? It tucks under its wings. It reduces its frontal area to pick up speed more quickly. And this also goes together with our observations in now over 20 years in doing these high-speed programs like Chiron and Véron, and now with the Tourbillon, is if you reduce frontal area, it has a greater influence on the speed of the vehicle, unlike anything else. And so the concept of reducing frontal area was also being exercised by Jean Bugatti, who we also take great respect and influence from, with his concept that he called surbaissé, where he submerged the engine in his Type 57 SC Atlantic. He submerged the engine behind and below the front axle to get the bonnet lower, to get the driver lower, to get the roof lower, to reduce frontal area. So that's already taken inspiration from. You will find the concept of surbaissé in this car as well, as we have reduced this car in relation to the Chiron by 33 millimeters in height. That's quite a big job in terms of car design. And that not only does have a huge effect on aerodynamics and the frontal area, but also on its proportions. Now, before we talk about any design theme or line or color, we have got to get the proportions just right. And as you can imagine, if you lower the roof, the wheels look bigger, it's an improvement for the proportions. Also, the body posture of this new car. You can see it is raked forward, ready to pounce at standstill, very much like a predator. The Type 57 you see here in comparison, this is how much lower it was, and that's exactly what we've done with the new car. We've reduced its frontal area. Jean Bugatti crafted the Type 57 SC Atlantic from a special magnesium alloy that couldn't be welded back in the day, so it was riveted together in the center from two halves. And ever since those times, the accentuated center line became part of our stylistic DNA. So you will find a center line also on the new car that is marked. It even goes through into the interior. The design DNA of Bugatti is not only the center line, it is also the Bugatti line on the side, which finds a new interpretation into this body side here once again, which is also the physical parting line between the two colors on the two-tone paint scheme. Also, the horseshoe has a new wide proportion, and it is the origin of all the volumes and line work on the front. It is the backbone of the architecture of the front. A radical new cooling and luggage concept also goes together with it. And we have these two, what we call flying fenders, docked onto them. And we're streaming air through underneath the headlights to exit the air in the apilar area to pressurize the side air intakes. As you know, it's an atmospherical engine, so any bit of extra air pressure that you can ram-induce into the side air intakes will actually increase power. We come to the more sculptural, more sensual, more reflection-based. There's almost no line to that rear three-quarter side panel here, surfaces, and which leads us to a beautiful contrast on the rear, where we have these more sensual surfaces up above and the more technical, more fragmented, more aero-driven surfaces down below. And it's this contrast that makes this so appealing. If we come to the interior, this is where digital detox meets the art of watchmaking. We have chosen to do the entire human-machine interfacing between operating the vehicle and displaying information at the driver in an analog fashion. It's completely timeless. We're speaking about authenticity, making it timeless through authenticity. And so we have a very unique steering wheel concept we call a fixed hub steering wheel. As you can see, the airbag and the instrument cluster stay put while the spokes reach around them, and so the driver has an unobstructed vision onto their instrumentation no matter what steering angle they dial in. Also, the instrument cluster is housed in a titanium housing. There's real ruby stone bearings It's covered in sapphire glass. It is in every way like an exquisite watch. Also, the center console draws inspiration from the art of watchmaking, as it is a skeletonized approach. There's real crystal glass set in machined aluminum. It's the aspect of transparency, like in a tourbillon watch with a glass back face. So you see, the tourbillon is really made not for the future, but for eternity.